What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Movement Mindset powered by Stacie Athletics. I'm Chris Hardenberg, and today we have Stacie Albert. So Stacie is a member at our Denville location. And so as some of you know, we've had some interviews over the last couple weeks. I had reached out to the general managers, and Felicia, who was the general manager here at the time, recommended you. And I was like, oh, Stacie is like the perfect person. She speaks exactly to one of the main demos we serve here at Stacie Athletics, and we'll get into that story and a little bit of why in a second. But Stacie, tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? What do you do? Tell us about the family. Give us your background.
So I am a nurse, a registered nurse. I'm 34 years old. I have two boys. One is 8 months old, actually today, exactly.
Oh, wow.
And 3.5. And I work remotely from home for the World Trade Center health program. So it's for cancer patients.
Interesting.
Who worked on 9/11, the responders, and now they're years later finding out that working at Ground Zero, they're all getting cancers, different kinds of cancers from the exposure. So the World Trade Center Health Program covers them at 100% for anything related to their certified cancer condition once it's certified by the CDC, essentially. So we reach out to those patients and help them and get things covered that their private insurance wouldn't cover. And since we cover everything at 100%, it takes a lot off of them because they're going through a really hard time in their life.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
How long have you been doing that?
About 2 years.
Oh, so it's relatively new.
Yeah. I've been an RN since I was 27, but I was in a bunch of other stuff doing bedside. And then I wanted to be home with my boys.
I literally was just about to ask you, now that you got two boys, I'm assuming a stay-at-home gig is a little bit different than 12-hour shifts.
Yeah. So with my first, I didn't have this gig because he's 3.5. So I got this like about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So essentially, I was working bedside. I work in New York Presbyterian. I was in the cardiac ICU.
Wow.
So I was working. I was leaving at 5:30 in the morning to get there for 7 o'clock to park and like walk in and everything and do what you need to do.
Yep.
And then not getting home until 9. So I wasn't seeing him. So actually, when I was out on maternity, I had a feeling that this was going to be like an issue for me. So I actually secured a new job before going back while I was on maternity. I told the boss that he had already put me on the schedule for the 3-week schedule, the remainder from when I came back. And I was like, I'm not going to give you like the 2 weeks. I'll give you the finish out of that schedule. Just don't put me on the next one.
Yeah.
And then I pushed out my start date. And I actually went to infection control nursing in a hospital, but in New Jersey. That gig just ended up not working out. It was just, I won't say anything. It just didn't work out. So I was there for like about a year. And then a friend of a friend knew about this job. And she was like, it's New York money, but working in New Jersey, because I don't know if you know anything about nursing, but New Jersey nursing, they pay way less than New York.
Really?
Way less for the same work. And
Great,
they're just undervalued here in
But
Jersey.
it's super cheap to live here, so that's good.
I guess that's why. But it's not. Like,
No,
I don't know.
I'm being sarcastic. It's
because
not.
the taxes are high.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is cheaper than New York because I came from New York City.
Oh, well,
But-
yes.
so
the
for
city,
me,
yes.
it is cheaper.
Yes, okay.
But essentially, a friend of a friend recommended me. It's kind of like a niche job. Like you don't just like know about it. You have to know somebody in order to get in.
Yeah.
And they were a little like worried that I wasn't going to be fulfilled because I had such a robust resume of like cardiac ICU, infection control, and they're like, "Is this what you want to do?" It's not really. It's patient centered, but not interaction. You're on the phone with them, but you're not like physically doing anything. And I was like, no. As long as I feel fulfilled, like I'm helping people, I think it'll be great. And I end up really liking it. They're also very family friendly. So my kids can be home with me. Like I don't have to get a babysitter. I don't have to take a day off of PTO if they're off of school. Like this past Indigenous People Day, I didn't have off, but they did. So they were just home with me, but I was still working.
Interesting.
So it's a nice, flexible job.
That's cool. So your story with Stacie Athletics, the reason why, frankly, Stacie, we wanted to have you on is like your son's 8 months, so you were pregnant with us, and you trained maybe not the entirety of the pregnancy, but the vast majority of it. Mm-hmm. So before I get into that and how things went, I'm curious, how did you even come across us?
So I was never a workout person. Like I was always that person who's like, oh yeah, I'm going to find something at home. I'll do it at home. And I do it for like 2 weeks and then I stop. That was me my entire life.
Yeah.
So I knew I needed to get into a gym. I was looking for something close to home because if it's more than a 5-minute drive, I'm not going.
Right.
I know myself, I'm not going. If it's snowing, I'll make an excuse. Like I'm just not going to go.
Yep.
So I was like, it has to be in town. It has to be something that I could do. And I had a friend in town who was also looking. So Jess Girardi, give her a little shout out. and Nick, her husband, but he joined after us. So I texted her and I was like, I saw this ad. It was an Instagram ad.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that it was a women's gym prior. And it was like, okay, like come in, contact us, like 6-week challenge. And I was like, it's right there. Like I'm always going to Casa Pizza. Like I should probably go to the gym if I continue eating like that.
Yeah.
So I came in and Kevin was here at the time and we signed up and everything and it was good. And I liked it. I was very sore from the beginning. I will never forget one of my first workouts was with Isaac and he doesn't play like at all.
No, Isaac does not
like
play.
at all. Like not like everybody pushes you, but he's like, you're going to do it and you're going to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So it was like 80 something lunges, like walking lunges. And I was like, this is literally my first workout. I couldn't walk for a week and a half. I couldn't sit down on the toilet. It was like, I was like my arms and legs. It was so hard. But as I started getting like stronger and learning like what AMRAP is, it's very overwhelming in the beginning if you've never done like AMRAP and all that. But nobody made it overwhelming. Everybody explained everything. Even the people who were like, not just the coaches, like the people that you're working out with, the members would explain it to you, be like, okay, if you don't get it, like this is how we do it. And they were showing us stuff. It felt like a community right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel really good. I ended up losing 5.5% body fat on the challenge.
Holy smokes.
But I knew I was going to join. So I wasn't doing it to like get my money back. I already had joined. So I was already in. And I was like, let's just keep going with it. Like, I really like it. And Felicia was a coach here at the time. And she's one of the main reasons I like really liked it because she's just awesome and amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So when she came back as GM, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. Like, I love you, literally. But it ended up working out and we really did like it. And then we got my friend Jess's husband to join. So now Nick is here too.
Look at that. And Jess recently had a baby too.
Yeah, she was also working out during her pregnancy too.
Yes, that's right. Because I remember... I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people were like, well, I might get pregnant like in the beginning. So, yes, I do remember that now. And so, yeah, that's cool. I think what's been awesome about the Denville gym is like very much that. And so it's like, especially in the beginning, like we opened in January. So, if you joined in like June, everyone else, it's not like they were like multi-year veterans. It's like, no, I was you 6 months ago, so let me help you.
Yeah, like I was I joined before you guys opened.
Yes.
I came in December and then I had to wait to come in.
Yes. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start working out. Sounds like you're getting great results. You're loving the community. You're loving what you're doing. But you weren't pregnant when you first joined, correct? No. Okay, so somewhere along the way, happy you're pregnant, and then it's like, okay, cool. But you're not, in your words, you were not like a workout person. So how did you navigate like, okay, I'm newly pregnant and what are the rules of regulation? Like, how do I handle this coming to class? Like,
so in nursing school, my two best friends, they're like big runners and like CrossFit, like forever. Like they worked out and they're like marathoners. One of them now lives in Salt Lake City, like runs all over the place every day, up and down the mountains. So I contacted them and I was like, what are the restrictions? Like I just asked them and they're like, nothing really in the first trimester, like as long as you're feeling okay. But just know that your ligaments are way more like wiggly. So you're way more prone to injury. So you definitely want to make sure that you're warming up for sure. Like even a little bit longer. Like I used to do like a minute extra on the bike, a couple extra stretches. I would just take my time. I also just never... Like when it got towards the end, I guess, like I would follow the workouts as close as I could, but I would just do what I could. Like that's what I want to tell everyone. Like don't push yourself too hard when you're pregnant because you have to listen to your body.
Yeah.
You listen to your body anyway when you're not pregnant, but now you're thinking for yourself and someone else. Your blood volume is doubling. It's harder to breathe. You can't like you're trying to do an inchworm. Your belly's getting in the way. Like you can't do sit-ups after a certain point. You want to make sure that you're conscious of your abs because you don't want to get the diastasis recti and push your abs through, which I actually do have, and I'm curing myself from that now.
Okay.
But it's not from working out; it's just from the baby separating your abs. So I just kind of took the modifications, and I would look at the workout on the app, and like if it was really something that I couldn't do, I would just know the coach that they would come in and they would give me something separate to do. Yeah. Like sometimes I did a completely different workout than everybody else, but I still got a workout.
And I love that because it's like a lot of people, whether it's an injury, and pregnancy is not an injury, but it is something that you have to like make some adjustments for. A lot of people will be like, I'm not going to come in today. You know what I mean? It's like, you can come in, and I am really proud of the staff. It's like, it's almost like you take your hand and wipe the entire workout. And it's like, all right, Stacie, you're going to do this today.
Exactly.
And that's way better for you than not showing up at all. I mean, not the same example, but like another person, I'm sure you've met Karen. Yeah. Right? So Karen, at one point had multiple major knee surgeries. She could have very easily packed it in and been like, forget it, I can't work out anymore. Right. Instead, she reaches out to Shannon or myself. It's like, all right, what do we got for the week? And then she can game plan her week. And so it's really cool that you did the same thing. But you also mentioned that you didn't feel so hot for a while there.
Yeah, no, I was pretty sick. At the beginning, up until 7 weeks, I was fine. Okay. And I was like, oh, like maybe I'll be good, but it's still really early. And then I went back for my 8-week appointment, and the doctor's like, how are you feeling? And I was like, I'm throwing up already. And he was like, well, that's what I expect. And like, of course, it's not what I want to hear. It's what I want to hear because it means it's a healthy pregnancy.
Yes.
So I was like, all right, we'll go with it. And then it just kept getting worse and kept getting worse and kept getting worse. I like couldn't eat anything. I couldn't even keep water down. I was sick all the way through about like 19, 20 weeks. But in July, this past July, I was hospitalized. I went to I didn't get admitted, but I needed 2 bags of fluid, and I still did not.
Holy smokes.
I still didn't urinate until like way later in the day after that. But they're like, we can't give you 2 more, like because you're going to overload you. So I just was super sick, and I tried to keep it away from my other son, who's 3.
Yeah.
He turned 3 right after the baby was born. So he sometimes would be like, Mommy's got to go to the bathroom. And I couldn't say it sometimes, or I would just run. There was like a time or 2 that he saw me, and he's just like a very compassionate kid. So he's like, Mommy, are you okay? And he would like rub my back, and I'm like, it would make me cry more. Because I'm like, you're so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a 6-week period that I forgot to actually put this on hold. Because obviously the gym wasn't on my mind. I was thinking about not vomiting all over the place. But what I liked about it is that you don't lose your sessions.
Yes.
So of course you want to put it on hold when you can. So like I contacted, and I did end up putting it on hold.
Right.
But I think I have like 20 rollover sessions still. Just because even from the postpartum, my husband travels for work. I couldn't always get here when I didn't have anybody to watch the baby. He wasn't in daycare yet. So I would try to work my workouts around that, but I think I have so many built up that I'm coming 5 days a week, but I'm only signed up for 3.
Right.
So until I use those up, I come as much as I can.
Yep.
But yeah, I was pretty sick, and I just did what I could. And when I got back into it, it was like starting all over again.
Right.
I took it very slow. I modified all the workouts, and I built myself back up to being able to do a lot.
So that's really cool. So, I mean, what I love about that story, Stacie, is it's like, you did what you could. And I think a lot of women, especially women who are used to working out, and maybe you weren't used to working out in the sense that you had been doing it for years, but you were used to coming here. Right. It's like it can be hard to adjust. And so I give you a lot of credit for being able to say, hey, half the battle is showing up, so I'm going to keep showing up and adjusting as needed. And everyone I've ever talked to who has a medical background is like, the pregnancy and delivery is always easier if you're in shape. And now that's not to say that the pregnancy and delivery is going to be easy, but it's easier for you than it would have been if you weren't in shape.
Definitely.
So that's really cool. So now you have the baby. What's his name? Cole. So Cole's 8 months. He's here. And so now you hit the postpartum phase. And I've always said that like the postpartum phase is like awkward when it comes to exercising, because it's like any woman I've ever talked to is like, oh, good, baby's out, I could get back to being myself. And it's like, no, nope. You actually have quite a bit of time.
2 years.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about how Cole's born. How did you navigate getting back into the gym and what that looked like for you?
So my delivery with him was way different than it was with my first, like way easier. I definitely do attribute that to the gym. Also with being a second kid, it's always harder with the first. Your body hasn't done it before, all the things. So just to give you some perspective, with my first, I didn't go in for an induction. I was like kind of starting labor. I was having contractions and didn't even know it. I have a ridiculously high pain tolerance. I'll just put that out there. Like I just do. Like I even since I was a kid, like I can tolerate a lot. And if I'm complaining, like my mom knew if I complained, it was really bad.
Sure.
So I was having contractions every 20 to 30 seconds when they put me on the monitor with my first, and I didn't even know. So they're like, we're going to keep you because like in an hour, you're going to start feeling it. And I did. I ended up having to be induced. I was in labor for like 23 and a half hours.
Oh my
With
gosh.
him, I pushed for like 55 minutes. I didn't need any assistance. It didn't turn into a C-section or anything. And then he was out, which 55 minutes for a first-time mom is good.
Yep.
Usually it's like hours and hours. So then with my second one, I almost had him in the car.
Oh my gosh.
I have a really high pain tolerance, as I said. I was contracting all day, but like it wasn't really regular. I put my son to bed, like my 3-year-old. I was sitting on the floor with him. He's sitting on my stomach, like, like sitting on me, laying on me, kissing the baby, doing all the things at like 7:30. And then I was like, all right, I'm feeling like a little weird. Like I feel like I have to go to the bathroom, but I don't. And I'm like, all right, let me just go into the bathroom. And then I couldn't come out of the bathroom like an hour later. And I was like, all right, something's going on. Then my water broke at 9:45 and it was like 30-second contraction, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And it's Morristown, so it's 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So thankfully my parents came that night because my husband had a feeling that it wasn't going to be the next day. So thankfully they showed up at my house like an hour before we had to leave.
Oh my
And they're
gosh.
coming from Long Island. So I know. So we get in the car and I'm like, I can't sit down. So I literally was holding myself up because he was in my pelvis.
Oh my!
I didn't know that was why,
Right.
but I had something was happening. So I couldn't.
JJ's face.
I'm sitting in the wheelchair. My husband leaves the car on, door open, running. Doesn't care if anybody steals the car. He's like pulls straight up. He's going 90 miles an hour. He's like, I hope we don't get pulled over. I was like, if we do, they're just gonna escort us there.
Right,
They don't want to
right.
deliver a baby.
Yeah.
So it was fine. There was nobody on the road. It was like 10 p.m. So I get there and he's wheeling me in. I'm on the wheelchair on the side,
Yeah.
and the labor and delivery nurses know that when you can't sit down, they know baby's there.
Yeah.
The nurses started stretching as soon as they saw me coming down, and she's like, "Let's go." They got me into the room. They literally took my pants off. My shirt was still on. No IV, nothing. Put me in the bed, and the resident comes in. The attending's not even in there. The resident comes in. She checks me. She's like, "You're 10+1. Baby's head is crowning. Can you hold it until the attending comes?" I said, "No." Like, he's literally coming out. Like, there's no stopping this. So they put me on the bed and I was on my hip and I was pushing on my side. And they're like, all right, we got to turn you because he's a little bit stuck. So like they turned me, and after 3 pushes, 5 minutes, he was out. No medication, no IV, nothing. He's totally healthy, no issues. He had a little bit of a bruise on his head from the fast descent, I guess. But he's fine now and it went away. I did skin to skin with him for an hour and everything was fine. But yeah, so I had a high pain tolerance there. And just remind me what we were talking about.
No, I freaking love that. Before I get back to what we were even talking about, listen, I don't want to make any assumptions, but if you and your husband did happen to decide to have a third, you're gonna have to like hold up, like get a room in the hospital.
No, they told me that as soon as you start to feel anything, you need to come in.
Yeah.
They're like, but we're not having a third. As of now, we're not having a third. I mean, it's still early, but
I
as
was
of now,
there
no.
too. For those of you that don't know, I'm very much having a third. Okay, so postpartum.
Oh yeah, so the postpartum. So then it was so since it was so much easier with him, like I was sitting on the floor the next day. Like
Okay.
I went in on a Friday, and for people who don't know, anybody who's pregnant, this is a good tidbit of information. If you have your baby before midnight, then it's really only the 2-day stay. So I left on Sunday. But if I had him after midnight, they would have made me stay until Monday because you have to be there for the 48 hours. You have the right to leave if you want to. Like you don't have to stay if there's no complications. But I had a kid at home. I wanted to recover a little bit. He was with my parents, so I was like, let's just stay.
I get a free
little
half
vacation in the hospital. But I was just sad that he wasn't allowed to come see me because the baby was
Yes.
due in February, and because of RSV, they don't let children in the hospital.
Okay.
So I wanted to see him, but we FaceTimed and everything was fine. But the postpartum recovery was a lot easier with him. I was moving around, like I didn't have any stitching, like none of that like I had with my first. So I think getting back into the gym after that is definitely easier. With my first, I wouldn't have been able to because I had like a really hard time with my recovery.
Right.
It took me months and months and months. I popped stitches, like it was not great.
Oh.
So that I probably would have not come back into the gym for like 6 months.
Yeah.
But here I was eager because I was like, all right, I already like lost a lot of my muscle tone. I want to get it back. I don't want to keep wasting away. So as soon as I was cleared, I think I came back April, like
Okay.
April 15th. I had him March 21st.
Okay.
February 21st.
All right, so 6 weeks.
So yeah.
6-8 weeks.
Yeah. So I came back, I think like after 2 months.
Okay.
And I just started slowly getting back into it. And I felt like working out made it more regular, like my hormones more regulated, I guess
Okay.
you could say. Because you're getting the endorphins, like everything's running. Like I was taking supplements and I was breastfeeding this time, which I wasn't able to do with my first, just for other things. And there was just a lot that I was doing differently. So getting back into the gym, I think really helped me with my recovery because I didn't have a hard birth.
Yeah, and I would assume, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, there's a lot of modification that comes with that too.
Yeah.
Because again, you know, your abs are split, right? Your core, in the nicest way possible, is a mess.
Yeah.
It's,
Yes,
your
it is.
Your pelvic
Your
floor,
uterus is the size of a dinner plate.
yes, and so everything is a mess, and
Yeah.
so that's something where credit to you to be like, all right, I want to get in, I want to get moving again, but I'm going to go slow, and having kind of the maturity and the wherewithal to be like, okay, I know I'm not just going to snap and be doing what I was pre-pregnancy. And again, that can be a hard adjustment for a lot of women. But I think taking that approach is super duper important, because the last thing you want is like permanent I always
diastasis, right?
Thank you. I always struggle saying
or
it.
you could say diastasis. Some people say it like that.
You don't want that to be permanent. And unfortunately, we have people on our staff across our gyms that have a lot of experience. I've talked to, we have a woman who works at our Roseland location. Shout out Nast, who's been in and around the birth fit scene. She's a doula. And so nice. We've leveraged a lot of her knowledge. And so being able to help new moms kind of like get back into the gym and progress through that, I think it was super, super cool that you've been able to do that. Mm-hmm. So now that both boys are here, there's a little bit more balancing that goes on.
Yes.
I have 2 kids myself. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
And another reason why I wanted to have you on is because of that fact. And again, this might be a little stereotypical, but it's really easy for parents, especially when they get a couple kids in the picture, to just be like, for this to just like completely go by the wayside. And I always found that in some ways I understand why that can happen or how it can happen. But the other end is like, I almost feel like this becomes more important because it's like and I'll let you talk in a second. You need the mental break.
Yeah, yes. The release.
Yes. And B, it's like, I got more people I'm responsible to be physically healthy for. Mm-hmm. So how do you balance both boys, a husband, a job, and getting in here?
So my husband travels for work. So he goes away to California for 2 to 3 weeks at a time.
Oh my gosh.
So when right now he's away.
What does he do?
He works for tissue recovery.
Okay.
So he does he goes into the OR and
so you're both like
organ
super
donation,
smart.
Tissue donation.
You're both super smart.
I mean, sure. Yeah. He was a paramedic beforehand.
You're like, I don't know how to answer that. Go ahead, Stacie.
Yeah. So when I wasn't able to come, which is why I had so many built up. When he's here, I would come at like the 5:30s because he's home with the kids, or I would come to the 4:30s or the 7:15, kind of whatever fit into our schedule. When he's not here, I wasn't able to go in the beginning because I didn't have anybody to watch the baby. When I was still on maternity, I would come once he was in daycare. I would come to the 9 a.m. That's usually like the maternity mom session.
Yeah.
So I thought about bringing him here, but he's like, I don't think he would do well with it because he didn't love being in the stroller. He doesn't love being confined, and I couldn't just have him like unsecured on the floor. It's not safe.
Yep.
So I now can come at 4:30, but I wasn't able to come when my husband was away. So I would do stuff at home.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you remember, if you saw it when there was just the burpee workout. It was like the 150 burpees and the running in between.
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't come, so I did it at home and then just posted it, and you guys reposted that I did it at home.
I freaking love
that. And I even gave up my time because like, it's just burpees. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
So I have like my little kids play mat, so I did it at home.
Good for you,
So I tried to
Stacie.
do stuff at home. I don't have obviously the full equipment, but I would go back and look at past workouts in the app, like in Train Heroic, and just like make my own stuff. So I would do that at home, but now I can come at 4:30 to 5:30 because he's old enough now where he doesn't need to go to bed every 2 hours.
Yes.
It's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and he can be fine at daycare until like 5:45 when I go pick them up because they close at 6. It's right over in Parsippany.
Okay.
So I get off work at 4, and I'm working at home 5 minutes away.
Yep.
So I have the 15 minutes to like change, do what I need to do, let the dogs out. I come here 4:30 to 5:30. I run out, I go get them, and then it's like crazy time because you go get them, then you come home, and then it's dinner, bath, bed for both of them when I'm by myself. So it's like we do the baby, then we do the older one, then it's like 8:15 already, and then I'm like, oh, I have to eat dinner myself, and now I have to clean everything and prep them for the next day and do the laundry and all that stuff. So it's a little hard when I'm by myself, but it's like kind of like single mom-esque.
Yeah.
But then when my husband's, we share everything when he's back, so it's so much easier. So it's harder when he's away, but I make it work with the 4:30 to 5:30 class. But then I have flexibility when he's back to either go to the 7:15 p.m. and he finishes, I'll do the bedtime with the baby and he'll do it with the older one.
Okay.
Or I'll do the 5:30 in the morning when everybody's still sleeping.
So what I hear you saying when you go over all that is a couple things. One is, it's like the old saying in school, you get what you get and you don't get upset.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta, like, literally when you explain it, when your husband's away, it's like I literally have an hour.
Yeah.
I literally have work ends at 4, 15 minutes to get changed, 5 minutes to drive here, work out for an hour, go get the kids. And so it's like that can stress some people out where they're just like, screw it. Like, I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to lie. That thought has gone through my mind. And I wasn't going to come yesterday because I was washing all of our sheets during work and I didn't put any of the sheets on the bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have so many chores to do. And then I was like, well, I didn't come Thursday or Friday, so I have to go. So I was like, I'll just do the chores later.
Right.
And like they did get done later. So it's like the intrusive thoughts that you have to be like, nope, I'm just going to go. Like, you just have to go.
I love that. And so it's like you've set it aside. Like, I love that. The intrusive thoughts that fight them off because it isn't easy, right? Like, and especially when you're by yourself, whether you are actually a single parent or you have a spouse who travels a lot, like that, like my wife knows now it's more than I would like, but there's definitely 2 nights a week I'm gone until 7, 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. Because a lot of our business is done when people are off of work.
Of course.
And so that's tough. So yeah, it's like, this is the hour I got and you take advantage of it. And so I think that's great. And the other thing is I heard you saying is like, it's not perfect, right? Like you're not going to have, okay, I get to work out at the same time every single day and I'm going to feel great going in every single day. It's like, no, what I hear from you, Stacie, is like, you've made a commitment to yourself, to your health, and you're going to find the time that works in your schedule for your boys and for your family. And so it's like for people, parents, but specifically women who are in this same spot, I really want to encourage you to kind of take some nuggets from what Stacie went over, because, you know, I think this is okay to say, you're just a regular person just like the rest of us. You know what I mean? We got a job, we got responsibilities. And so like to be able to make that a priority and fit it in is really, really cool. Yeah.
And like you were saying, to touch on what you were saying before, like it's easy to just not go or fall out of it or say like, oh, I don't have time, the kids take precedent. But you need to be fit to run around with your 3.5-year-old.
Seriously.
Like, I need to be able to carry both babies when I'm by myself. Like, and they both want to be carried. My child was a Velcro baby, not the older one, the younger one, Velcro baby until he was 4.5 months old. I had to put him on for naps. All I did was wear him for 8 hours a day in the carrier. It was like I got a break because I got to sit on the couch with him or do some chores that I knew wouldn't wake him up when he was sleeping. But if he wasn't on me, that kid was not sleeping. So he was on me at night, like no blankets on the bed, you know, the safe co-sleeping. I never thought co-sleeping would be a thing for me, but you have to adapt. You just have to adapt. And it's the same with your gym life. You adapt. You have to just do what you can do. And if you can only do 30 minutes, you can still come and do 30 minutes of the workout and leave.
Right.
Or come for 45 minutes and leave. There was one time that we worked out right up until the end, and shout out to Shannon. I was trying to clean everything up and she was like, just leave it and go get your kids. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I like about it. Like, people will help me clean up. They're like, I have no responsibilities. I have no kids. I have nothing going on. They're like, just go and we'll clean it up for you. So like, people here are even fostering, trying to help me because they know I only have that hour.
Yeah.
They're like, just go. We got it.
I love that. So the one thing I ask at the end of all these podcasts when I interview someone like this is, what one piece of advice would you have for someone who's in a similar spot for you or is going through fitness while they're pregnant? So it sounds like you touched on some of that, but if you could boil it down into like, yeah, this is the biggest piece of advice, what would it be?
The biggest piece of advice for pregnant women who, I think, it's a lot. It's hard to put it down into one, but I would say just get moving. Just do whatever you can. Don't doubt yourself. And who cares what you look like when you're doing it?
Right.
Some people are so self-conscious about what they look like in the gym, or I'm not going to be able to do it, or I'm going to have to make the coach modify everything. That's their job.
Yes.
They're here to help you. They want to help you.
Yeah.
So just come in and just do what you can do and ask for the help when you need it.
I love that. And especially for pregnant women, because you have, whether you like it or not, a giant sign on your belly that's like, I require modifications.
Exactly.
And so we're here to help. Cool.
Exactly.
Thanks for coming on, Stace.
Yeah, of course.
As always, guys, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Instagram. Give us a 5-star rating on the podcast platform you listen on. If you go to Denville, say hi to Stacie. She's killing it back from having the baby and being a mom. And as always, guys, see you at the gym.